Welcome. So our channel has a couple different directions because the science of reading and literacy, I believe, are very important, as well as the behavior intervention for the child development side of things with the 16 personalities. So we're going to dive deep into the science of reading side of things and why the science of reading matters more than ever. This blog post is the first for the science of reading section, and it's titled Why the Science of Reading Matters More Than Ever. If there's one thing I could shout from the rooftops to every educator, policymaker, and parent, it's this: literacy is everything. It's not just an academic skill, it's a life skill, and far too many children are being left behind. Let's get something out of the way first. Kids are not failing reading. The system is failing to teach them. What is the science of reading? The science of reading isn't a program or a buzzword. It's decades-long research from psychology, cognitive science, neuroscience, and education. It tells us exactly how the brain learns to read and what methods actually work. It's evidence-based, it's clear, it's consistent, yet most classrooms in America are still using outdated or ineffective reading practices. We now know that reading is not a natural process. We aren't born wired to read. Children must be explicitly taught how to connect sounds with letters through structured, sequential instruction. This is especially important for children with dyslexia, but it benefits all learners. Why it matters so much. Now here's where it gets heavy. Let's look at just a few startling statistics. 2/3 of students who cannot read proficiently by the end of 4th grade will end up in jail or on welfare. Over 70% of inmates in U.S. prisons read below a 4th grade level. Students who don't learn to read by 3rd grade are 4 times more likely to drop out of high school. This isn't just an education crisis, it's a social justice crisis, a public health crisis, an economic crisis. If we want to change the trajectory of lives, we must start with reading. What I've seen as a special education teacher and speech-language pathology assistant, I've worked with students who had all but given up on themselves. Many were labeled as difficult, lazy, or behind. But when we applied structured literacy and tapped into the science of reading, things changed. Kids started sounding out words they once froze at. They began to write, to spell, to ask questions, and most importantly, they started to believe in themselves. Why isn't this already the standard? That's the question we all ask. And the honest answer: change is hard. Many educators were never trained in the science of reading. Curriculums are slow to shift. Politics and publishing companies play a bigger role than they should. But the tide is turning. State by state, district by district, we are seeing momentum. And we as educators, families, and advocates can push that movement forward. Where do we go from here? This blog is going to break down key parts of the science of reading in a way that's approachable and practical. We'll talk about the history, what structured literacy looks like in real classrooms, how to support struggling readers at home, the overlap between behavior and reading challenges, tools, resources, and strategies to start using right now. Whether you're a teacher, a parent, a homeschooler, or someone who just cares deeply, you belong here. Let's rebuild reading instruction from the ground up, together, because every child deserves the chance to read, and reading opens the door to everything else.